future plan of
Sure.
action?
So basically, I've been in the business now for about 5 months, not too long.
Right.
And I think there's a number of reasons why I'm in the role that I am. I think predominantly I come from a very varied background, 28 years in retail.
Right.
But in every aspect of retail, so jewelry, fashion, lifestyle.
Right.
And I think that's a key reason to bring that sort of...
Briefly tell us about this 28 years, which are the brands you handle.
Yes, so my career spans 28 years in luxury retailing. So working with Harrods, Giorgio Armani, Coach Group, as many luxury brands actually in Europe, in the US, and in the Middle East. And so my role has been as CEO of Majid for Flame Fashion beforehand. So I've been in the region for around 12 years or so. So I've come with a lot of knowledge of the region and its nuances, and I'm from the Middle East originally, so Iraqi born, Indian heritage.
Really?
Yes.
What's the Indian connection?
Lucknow, from my father's side.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
Yes. So I have a great appreciation for, the style and the aesthetic and the color. Actually.
Very, very interesting. Lucknow is a place for what you can say, tehzeeb.
Yes.
Tehzeeb is
mannerism, etiquette,
etiquette, hospitality.
Yes. It's very regal.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I'm very proud of that lineage actually. Yes. So bringing a different approach, I think, to Damas is key in the strategy. So predominantly in the past, Damas is a very male-dominated brand with a male-dominated voice, speaking to a male consumer. And so my role is really to preserve the heritage of 100 years, which is incredibly important to us.
Right.
But then also bring in a fresh outlook. And being a female who sits at the lead of the company, obviously one of my main strategic roles is to speak to a female audience, because at the end of the day, today, those are our direct customers.
True.
Yeah.
So tell me, as probably one of the first female CEOs of a large jewelry group, probably in the subcontinent. In India, we don't have.
Yes.
You see, I always tell that there's so many men working to please a woman. There's no woman on the side. Jewelry is basically about pleasing a woman.
Yes, exactly.
But there's all men working hard for it.
Right. Which I don't mind, by the way. Men working hard to please women is not a bad thing. But
they don't have women insights.
Yes, women insights make a difference, right? Yeah.
In India, we have very few women. Like we have Nirupa Bhatt, GIA, and she's been for past 18-20 years. Different roles, leadership roles. Vaishali is PGI head, but those are the trade bodies kind of an organization, but not an entrepreneur level.
Right.
So it's a very interesting, I think, inspiration for the industry.
Yes.
Coming to the Damas, would you tell us something about today the group's revenues and number of stores and what's...
So I can't share the revenues. However, we sit on a portfolio of about 208 stores throughout the GCC.
Okay.
Predominantly, the majority of them are in the UAE, but we have a strong presence, obviously, in Saudi, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, the rest of the regions. I think part of our strategy is to focus heavily on Saudi. Saudi is a very interesting market for us. We have around 23 stores in that region, but the potential is vast, obviously. So that's a key focus for us.
But in this, your scheme of things, where does India stand? Is it important from sourcing point of view? Or you employ a lot of Indians, I'm sure.
Of course.
Or you plan to expand to India? Where does India...
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. Obviously, our business does employ, and I'm very proud of that fact.
Right.
We do have a very strong Indian armed force, I guess you could say. And then our sourcing, Well, I mean, this is a legend, right? I mean, Nani's king, I think. King of India, maybe. So that's one element, and of course, our sourcing, is the second part. And strategically for us, we want to re-enter the market, let's say, eventually. Yes, we definitely have that strategy. And it's incredibly important. I mean, we sit on a vast portfolio in UAE, and there's a huge presence of the Indian population.
True.
Yeah.
Now, after taking over 4 months, 5 months, I think it's shorter period, but still, what kind of, preferences in customers' behavior you are seeing a shift to a new, now focuses on millennials, younger generation.
Yes.
At the same time, there are economical slowdowns across the world. So, what do you foresee this whole jewelry?
I mean, for us, the power of the brand is unprecedented, right? We have a huge heritage, tremendous brand loyalty, and a really powerful IP.
Right.
So there's nothing that's going to rock that boat, is there?
Right.
Not when you have 100 years behind you.
Right.
But for our vision, we definitely want to speak to a younger audience. I think that's where we haven't spoken to them too much.
Right.
And so the millennials and the younger generation is a key focus.
Right.
And socioeconomics also obviously are at the forefront. Competition, retail is tough, but for us, I'm always saying that this brings an opportunity, right? For every challenge, you look at an opportunity. So we're looking inwards at our business, understanding our customer profile, really understanding what their requirements are.
Right.
We are an aspirational brand, right? So we want to be aspirational, but at a price point where you can access luxury, right? This is the opportunity that we see.
Right. And in terms of your inventory mix in your stores,
yes,
how much will be gold, diamond, platinum, color stones?
Yes,
what is...
I mean right now the portfolio is 50% gold and 50% non-gold. But we do want to, we're looking at, obviously from a vision point of view, reworking that entire concept and bringing some freshness and newness to that as well. So even within the categories themselves, we're looking at introducing a more accessible, fashionable, relevant product.
Right.
So we need to be catering for an audience that respects the loyal customers that we have. When you have a brand that's over 100 years old, that means you have generations within it that have been part of the journey, right? So we spoke to perhaps the parents, and now we need to speak to their
grandchildren.
Yes. But we don't want to lose our focus from our loyal customers as well. So we're very careful that we have to be sort of inclusive in our categories and make sure we're catering for that, but then building a future generation with us. Inshallah, another 100 years, yeah?
Right.
I think Manu will still be there for the 100
Yeah,
coming.
next
I don't know
time.
if I'm going to be there, but I'm sure he's definitely going to be there.
Right. So now tell us that typically in the Arabic customer, you have Arabic women.
Yes.
Her preferences, let us say today, in terms of the gold, in terms of diamond, you have in those Middle East, you have middle class, and you have very super rich.
Sure.
Okay. So any trends you could tell us, or average purchases you get to know in your store?
Yeah. Look, I think
those insights.
As an Arab and as an Indian, so I can appreciate both. And for us culturally, it's all about gold, right? Gold will continue to be an investment, and part of our culture and part of who we are. Right. So, but for us, it's how do we then refresh that? Because it might have been part of my generation, but not necessarily, the kids, right? My children will be looking at a more fashionable, more trend-led product.
Right.
And it's introducing them to the concept of investment, because that's how we purchase, with the view that this is our investment.
Right. So
But
it's
now
both combination of both.
It's trying to have that equal balance of both. Exactly. And the Middle East customer is very, trend savvy, very fashion forward. They're constantly traveling. They understand what's happening globally. We live in a global economy where everything is at a touch point, right?
All the brands available.
Everything. So you know what's right and what should work. So that's what we try to tap into, really.
Do you see any competitor in your category in that market in Middle East?
Competition is great, right? It keeps you on your toes. So I don't, actually we were having that discussion maybe a half hour ago. I don't particularly think there is a competitor specifically for Damas, but there are great respect for leaders like Malabar and the likes of, which we sort of bow our head to because they're equally strong.
Yeah, I think
but direct competition is no.
The uniquely positioning of being a Arabic brand is, I think, very unique to your heritage.
Absolutely. We're actually, I believe, the only brand in the Middle East that is born there and, has such a strong heritage, right? So there's no competition.
So So finally, last, how do you find Forever Mart Showroom? What's your feedback on this?
I think it's a great opportunity to network, to understand more about the business, their vision, their strategy. What's also interesting is meeting the vendors and seeing the collections that they have, and gaining knowledge, right? For us, we're quite a strategic partner for them in the Middle East. So, immersing ourselves in the world is very important.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Really, it's a pleasure.